Welcome back to the channel, and today we are talking about a coin that could be worth a pretty penny. The 1981 50-cent coin from Australia. We will look at what makes this coin valuable, its condition, factors, and why it's a big deal among coin collectors. Let's get started. By 1981, Australia's decimal coin system was well established, having been introduced in 1966. The 50-cent coin in its distinctive dodecagonal or 12-sided shape had become an everyday part of Australian life. Unlike the rare 1966 round silver 50-cent coin, the 1981 coin was made of copper nickel, but it continued to carry the same coat of arms design that had become a national symbol on this denomination. What makes 1981 special, however, is the fact that the Royal Australian Mint needed extra help meeting demand, so some coins were actually struck outside of Australia. The 1981 Australian 50-cent coin weighs 15.55 grams, has a diameter of 31.51 millimeters, and is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The edge is plain, and the 12-sided shape not only makes it distinctive but also helps prevent confusion with the round 20-cent coin. Its silver-like appearance often tricks beginners into thinking it contains precious metal, but in reality it is purely a base metal alloy designed for durability. The obverse or head side of the coin features the Arnold Machin portrait of Queen Elizabeth, which was used on Australian decimal coins from 1966. Until 1984, the Queen is depicted wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, and the legend around the portrait reads, Elizabeth II, Australia, 1981. This portrait is one of the most familiar among collectors of mid-20th century Commonwealth coinage, and it ties the 1981 issue firmly into its era. The reverse design showcases the Australian coat of arms created by the artist Stuart Devlin. At its centre is the Commonwealth Shield with the 6 state badges of New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, South Australia, Western Australia, and Tasmania. Supporting the shield are Australia's most iconic animals, the kangaroo and the emu, chosen to represent progress because neither can easily move backward. The background is filled with stylized wattle, the national floral emblem. This bold and symbolic design has appeared on the 50-cent coin since 1969 and remains one of Australia's most recognisable coin motifs. Now here where things get interesting. In 1981, Australia Royal Mint could not keep up with demand for 50-cent coins, so production was outsourced to the Royal Mint in London and the Royal Canadian Mint. As a result, there are multiple varieties of the 1981 50-cent coin, some struck in Canberra, some in Canada, and some in London. While they look similar, collectors often enjoy identifying subtle differences between them. The total mintage for circulation was over 20 million coins, making it a fairly common year overall, but the different mint origins add a fascinating twist for collectors. In circulated condition, the 1981 Australian 50-cent coin is generally only worth its face value, about 50 cents. However, in uncirculated condition, prices range from $3 to $8 depending on quality and mint origin. Coins in mint sets or coins graded highly by professional services like PCGS or NGC can sell for $15 to $25 or more. What really excites collectors are the overseas minted versions, which are scarcer and can bring higher prices, especially when identified and verified. One of the most collectible aspects of the 1981 issue is the Canadian minted variety, which has distinct differences in lettering and strike style compared to the Australian minted version. In addition, error coins from this year, such as clipped planchets off centre strikes or die cracks, can significantly increase value, sometimes fetching hundreds of dollars at auction. This is why it's worth closely examining any 1981 50-cent coin you come across, because it could be more than just spare change. For collectors, the 1981 50-cent coin is a great piece to include in a full decimal collection. To maximize its long-term value, focus on finding uncirculated or mint set examples. And if you can, try to collect examples from both the Australian and Canadian mints. Store coins in protective holders or capsules to prevent damage. And remember never to clean your coins, doing so destroys their natural surfaces and greatly reduces their value. Professional grading can also be worth considering for flawless coins. In summary, the 1981 Australian 50-cent coin may look like an ordinary coin, but its story of overseas Minting and multiple varieties makes it a fascinating addition to any collection. While most circulated examples are not worth much more than face value, uncirculated error or foreign mint coins can be worth significantly. It's a great coin to study if you're learning how to spot varieties. If you enjoyed this breakdown, do not forget to hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up and drop a comment below. Do you have a 1981 50-cent coin in your collection, and have you ever identified whether yours was minted in Canberra, London or Canada? Stick around, because in our next video we will explore another Australian decimal coin with a story that might surprise you.